Now, deep web versus dark web. Now, actually, they are not the same. Now, first of all, the deep web and the dark web are not the same thing. Please don't get confused. Though they can overlap significantly. Alright? So, what is the deep web? This is the first thing. Now, the deep web refers to all pages which are not indexed, which means that most search engines will not return them to you after a search. Their crawlers do not see these pages, making them de facto invisible to these search engines. This means that in order to access one of these pages, you need to either know their exact address, link, or to click on another link once you get in the deep side of the web. Also, the deep web can include significant parts of the legitimate mainstream web like Netflix or Amazon pages or whatever, okay? So simply because they are personalized for users and not all URLs are meant to be indexed, okay? Now, on the other hand, what is the dark web? Now, the dark web is a layer even deeper. Technically, also part of the deep web, by the way, which makes it inaccessible unless you know exactly where to go. So, but it is focused on illegal activities and services. It can be pretty gruesome. Some people call it the place where humanity's darkest side surfaces. Alright? Why is that? What is exactly on the dark web? Well, there are marketplaces for various drugs, from mild, recreational, and borderline illegal ones, like weed, to the hard stuff. And there are a marketplace for various fire weapons and ammunitions, obviously unregistered. There are software needed for deeper browsing, like on your browser, and listening directories, list of other deep web, dark web websites and their links, so you can access them. Again, what is exactly on the dark web? There are a few rare books scanned. There are a lot of blueprints for 3D printing stuff, for legal things to illegal things. So, for example, some of them a blueprint for how to build the guns. A blueprint for building guns in 3D using plastic or whatever. And actually there are a lot of these. There are some building plans boasting to offer undetected access via secret tunnels to important buildings. Okay, again, there are WikiLeaks documents. There are a so-called hidden wiki portal claiming to be the original Wikipedia plus its mirrors. And there are files claiming to contain nude photo of various celebrities, all behind a Bitcoin wall and probably fake, of course. Now, there are websites with videos depicting abuse towards children, animals, war prisoners, etc., etc. There are child pornography content, okay? So actually this is the subject of what Elliot did capture from Ron Scuffy bandwidth. He captured, there are a website that running a child pornography content. Don't worry, we will talk about, or how Elliot detect this website. Don't worry, we'll talk about this in details, alright? And there are racist content and content promoting violence against various minorities like Ku Klux Klan propaganda or videos of actual hate crime being perpetrated and so on, okay? Now, there are recipes on how to cook human meat and video footage. There are a marketplace for hiring hitmen, though for the most part, these services are reported to be yet more Bitcoin scams. Still, some of them are for real. And there are rumors of so-called the red rooms, okay? Like video footage of torture and murder. They require a Bitcoin fee to enter, but they are also scams, just an urban legend. But there are a lot of bad things for bad people, to be honest. Now, this picture will explain everything. So you can see that here is the surface web. We have Google, we have Bing, Wikipedia, YouTube, Facebook, whatever. This is the surface web. It is legal. Now here, this is the deep web. Now deep web is not illegal. As you can see, these are websites that are not indexed, like academic information, medical records, legal documents, scientific reports, subscription information, conference proceeding, government, organization-specific repositories, and so on. Alright? Now, on the other hand, the dark web actually, here were the illegal stuff. So illegal information, Tor encrypted site, drug trafficking sites, private communication, and so on. Now all of that actually is illegal. Okay? So deep web and dark web, they are different. Now, of course, deep web and dark web, the same technology. These are websites that cannot be accessed directly. You need the address for it, okay? Or websites are not indexed. But the deep web is something legal. The dark web is something illegal, okay? Now, is it illegal to access the deep web or the dark web? Now, obviously, it's no. No, it is not illegal to go browsing on non-indexed page, all right? Now, or to use a high privacy like Tor. Don't worry, we will talk about Tor in details. Even you will understand how the system works, how Tor works. Now, again, like Tor, traditionally associated with the browsing, the deep web and dark web. And in fact, part of the deep web might include your old blog from 10 years ago, which search engine failed to index because it's very old and devoid of content, okay? Now, what is illegal actually is not just to access and browse the overlay network called the deep web or dark web, but to look into the illegal services sold on these networks, or to attempt to hack things without permission. That's what can get someone in trouble, not just simply the browsing, okay? So here is a list. What is the difference between deep web and dark web? Deep web is the portion of the internet is hidden and not shown from conventional search engines. Now the dark web is a subset of deep web which is intentionally hidden. Now deep web, to access this you require password encryption or special software. Dark web, to access this you require Tor project or similar browser. Alright. Now for the deep web, it is larger than the surface web. Of course, we saw that in the picture. Dark web, it is a subset of deep web, but it is size immeasurable. Why is that? Because we don't know. We don't know. Because it is illegal. It is hidden. It is intended, as you can see, intentionally hidden. Alright? Now, the deep web, they are usually used for legit purposes that require anonymity. Okay? Like political stuff, university research, medical records, and so on. We saw that actually. But in the dark web, sometimes used for illegal activities, drug, child pornography, weapons, ammunition, and so on. Deep web, it includes all unindexed web pages. The dark web, it only includes subset of unindexed web pages inside the deep web. Now in the deep web, you can access it with a VPN, it's okay. But the dark web need lots of precautions to access this data. Okay, alright. Now in the next lecture, we will start handling what is Tor. Now what is Tor and how the Tor works. And actually Tor is the thing that needed to create a Tor website, to create a dark website. Now actually I'm not telling you to do a dark website or to do some bad stuff like child pornography or weapons websites or something like that. No, but we need to understand the technology and to know how this technology works, so to capture the bad people that are doing bad stuff. Alright? We need to know how bad people think. Alright? And by the way, this is what Elliot did in the show when he captured the Tor website that's running on